Mavis was enjoying herself immensely. Having been allowed to bring trucks from the quarry, she could now see the beautiful sights all along Thomas's branch line. She loved trundling through the streets of Farquhar, passing the shops and houses on her way to the junction. "This is lovely," she thought. "Much better than being surrounded by stone all day." "It's nice to see you down from the quarry, Mavis," Percy remarked one morning. "Although I do envy you sometimes." Mavis was taken aback. "Whatever for?" "You and Toby are the only engines who can go to the quarry," Percy sighed. "I was only allowed when the harbor was being built. I miss running along the roadside and seeing people pass by. But," he perked up, "the law is meant to protect people after all." Percy puffed off to work without a second thought on the matter, but Mavis was quite disgruntled. "It isn't fair," she fussed as she went back to the quarry. "Percy's not dangerous. Why shouldn't he be allowed up the line?" "It's not Percy the police are worried about," replied the driver. "That law is in place for people and animals. You can't stop on a dime. If something were to get too close to the line..." "Perish the thought," interrupted Mavis. "Still, people should know better than to get close to a moving train."
"Well, people have strange ideas," her driver conceded. "They can be unpredictable, and I'd certainly hate for their actions to damage you." Mavis scoffed at this.
"Silly law," she grumbled. "I could get on just fine without my cowcatchers and side plates."
But Mavis would soon learn just how valuable they were. During the summer, Caroline had been rented out for tours around the village of Farquhar. She trundled about the town, showing visitors the local shops and restaurants. It was hard work for an old car, but Caroline relished the attention it brought her. One evening, Caroline finished her tours and was back at her master's home. She was very excited, as she was about to have brand new tires fitted, but her excitement wouldn't last long.
"Rats!" shouted her master. "I forgot to stop at the mechanic's and get the tires. I don't have time to make a trip into town now."
"Can I help, Dad?"
Master's son had come out, having heard the frustration in his father's voice.
I could drive her into town."
Caroline was weary of anyone else driving her, and Master himself wasn't so sure.
"She's not a race car. Can I trust you to be easy on her?"
"Of course, Dad. I'll be careful."
So Master agreed. Caroline soon found herself reluctantly rolling through the country with Master's son. At the quarry, Mavis had just finished shunting when her manager came running up.
"I've just received an urgent order of stone bound for the Little Western. Donald needs to collect it from the junction first thing in the morning. I know you're tired, but would you be able to take it now?"
"Of course, sir," Mavis smiled. "No trouble at all."
She gathered her trucks and set off down the line. Meanwhile, Caroline was not enjoying herself at all. Master's son was used to modern cars and was pushing her well beyond her limits. He took the bends much too quickly and slammed the brakes.
"Slow down, hooligan," she scolded. "I'm not some newfangled dragster."
The boy just laughed and ignored her. Soon they reached the town of Farquhar.
"Good," Caroline thought. "He'll have to slow down here."
But he didn't. The boy swerved around corners and whizzed through the tight city streets.
"Oh dear," cried Caroline, shutting her eyes. "I can't look."
It might have been better if she had. They rounded a corner, and there was Mavis.
"Cripes!" screamed the boy. He drove his foot into the brake pedal, but Caroline didn't respond. They went swerving down the street in absolute fright. Mavis hadn't been going fast and was able to brake to a halt. Caroline wasn't so lucky. She had crashed right into Mavis, and smoke was now billowing from her engine. "Oh, my frames and fenders," she groaned.
The townsfolk of Farquhar heard the crash and came to help. In no time at all, they had pushed Caroline free. Toby also came to pull Mavis clear of the street. Both car and diesel were badly dented and feeling very sorry for themselves. Soon, Caroline's master and the fat controller arrived. Both had stern words for the boy, who turned white as a ghost.
Well, Mavis, said the fat controller, it appears you'll need to spend some time at the works.
And he pointed to her dent.
Your driver tells me you've taken issue with your cowcatchers and side plates. The accident was not your fault, but I hope this shows you why the law is in place. I don't think I need to spell out how different things could have been without them.
Yes, sir, Mavis quivered as Toby pulled her clear. She thought the fat controller had said quite enough indeed.